Hi, my name is Ankita Johal and today I am going to talk about how to get 7 bands in IELTS writing section. So firstly, let me introduce myself that my name is Ankita and I have more than 15 years of experience into IELTS training. And yes, I have trained more than 500 students and I know how to get 7 bands in IELTS writing section can be so tricky for some students. So here I am with the practical strategies and a real examiner logic to help you solve this problem. So what does 7 band means for you? For exactly, if you want to get 7 bands, you need to have clear ideas in your writing section. If they are asking you about something, if you agree or you do not agree to it, you need to have a clear idea about it and stick to it. Well organized paragraphs. Yes, it is exactly a synonym of it that you need to well organize your paragraph. See, if there is a question that if they're asking you, do you think that obesity has increased in children these days? Do you agree or disagree with this? So, if you are agreeing to the topic, organize your paragraph accordingly. You give the points supporting your answer properly, use connectors so that it will be easier for the examiner to understand your viewpoint. Then good vocabulary. Good vocabulary here doesn't mean that you have to use some fancy words. It's like you can use vocabulary but with a different range. Avoid using repetition of words because that actually shows that you don't have much range of vocabulary with you and that creates a negative impact in the examiner's mind. Mostly error-free grammar. Yes, you can do minute mistakes, but mostly it is preferable that your grammar needs to be accurate. In grammar, what are the things that are important? See the tense that you're using, in which tense you have to write, like in especially in the writing section 1, when you have to describe a graph. So be very particular about it in which year you're talking about, and accordingly you have to use the tense. Then comes your punctuations. Then there are other articles, use of articles. So different variety of grammar. And again, if you're using it, tenses, punctuations and various other things like how you're using an adjective, how you're defining something. So be accurate with it. Do not use it if you're not sure of it. So it's like if you feel that you might get wrong here, so it's better to avoid it. Yes, relevant examples. Relevant examples here are very important. And what exactly does mean relevant examples with? So it means that if you are agreeing to something, you agree that obesity is like increasing among children and you feel that you need to give example related to this, so you can give any example from your point of view, or if you have read about this thing, so that examiner can relate with your point of view, and with an example it gets very easy to understand something. Sometimes when you're not able to put through your point of view like very clearly, with an example it can become more clear. So the writing section of IELTS is like this. For academics, task 1 is report, which you're supposed to write in 150 words, and task 2 is essay writing. For it is like 250 to 270 words. So basically how we say is, for task 1 it's like 3 bands, it is of 3 bands, and task 2 is of 6 bands, total 9 bands. And because task 1 is of 3 bands only, so you're not supposed to waste like a lot of time on it. And task 1 is like bit easier also because everything is there in front of you. You're just supposed to describe it. And again, there are certain techniques that you need to follow while describing the graph, which are very important. Then task 2 essay is common for the general training students and for the academic ones, and it is the most important part of your writing section because that shows your point of view, that shows your writing, that shows your knowledge about the subject and the vocabulary, the kind of vocabulary you are using, your grammar part, and how well you can put your ideas through. Then in the general training, in task 1 you get a letter. Now letter can be formal, informal, semi-formal. Okay, so it depends the kind of letter you get. Again, it will be of 3 bands only, so don't waste your much time on it. Just divide it like this: 15 to maximum 20 minutes give to your task 1, and apart from that everything give like time, keep your time for task 2 like 40 minutes, at least 35 minutes for task 2, so that you can get 5 minutes extra to like revise it or just go through it again if you are missing something, so that you can check it. And if you're missing something and if you feel that you have done some mistake, or you can add something, so it's important you keep some time apart for proofreading. So yes, task 2 is very important. So we always say I always say to my students that you should always keep like 15 minutes for task 1 and 40 to 45 minutes for task 2. Take time to plan your essay. It's very important that you like take 5 to 7 minutes to plan like what you're going to write, what you're going to write in the introduction part, what you're going to write in your main paragraph, what will be your main pointers. You need to plan it properly and then start writing. It should not be like that you got the question, okay, now I'll just start writing. No, just plan it and then write it. So in the task achievement part, which you need to take care of, what does examiner check? First of all, task response or task achievement is that you have answered each and every part they have asked you. Like if there is a question that these days people are moving abroad for better studies or for better future, so do you think that this is happening because of the lack of opportunities they are getting in their native country? Do you agree with this statement or not? So it is basically asking you two things, and then they are asking you your opinion on it, that do you agree with it or not. So you need to be very clear with that, that if you have two questions, then you'd make a two separate paragraph for them and make a clear opinion about something. And it's better to stay focused to that one opinion only, because basically everyone, they have their one opinion. You cannot be like, yes, I agree with this, on the other hand I agree with this. No, you stick to your opinion, talk about it, develop your ideas around it, give examples related to your opinion. Why do you think that this is important, and why do you think that this is happening? So you can give the relevant examples so that it can be easier for the other person, for the examiner, to understand what you are like what you're writing and what is your opinion behind it. So again, the golden rule is one idea, keep one paragraph, one example, very simple. So if I say that you don't have much idea, you are saying that I agree to the point, but I have only one major point related to that. So you just use that in the first main paragraph. Give that example, give that point of view, explain it properly, give your reasoning, and then provide the example also. And if you still feel that you don't have any other point, then you can move on to the other opinion. You can say that on the other hand, some people think that this is the idea. But I prefer that you do in this case only when you don't have much points to talk about. Otherwise, it's always better to stick to one opinion only. Yes, the most important part. Like, let's keep it very simple. Don't complicate it. A perfect essay structure consists of an introduction, body paragraph 1, body paragraph 2, and the conclusion. Okay, if like it's a very simple structure that you can follow for most of the questions. In the introduction part, you're supposed to like, how some people say that I get very confused about the introduction part of the essay. So it's like very simple. Just take one keyword out of it. If they are talking about that people are moving to other countries for future prospects, you take one thing out of it, future prospects, or like uh, why people are moving towards it, why people are migrating to other countries. So you can talk about migration, you can talk about culture. You can take one keyword and give the introduction on it, just Or like in another scenario, I am not getting anything, I am blank right now, what to do? So what you can do here is, whatever they have given in the question, just rephrase it in your own words. Don't just put exactly the same thing, just rephrase it in your own words, and then give your opinion that yes, I agree, in the introduction part only. Yes, I agree, I feel that people migrate to another country for a better future, because I feel. Then you can give your reasoning in the body paragraph 1. I hope you got the answer. So it's very simple. Introduction, take the keyword, give the introduction. If you feel that migration, or in this, I feel that career will be the most important thing. That career these days are like, it's like the most important thing, and people's lives revolve around it. And people nowadays are taking professionalism more seriously. And if they get more future prospects in another country, they would love to move there. So then you will give your here your opinion that yes, I feel that people move there because of better opportunities. And then in the body paragraph 1, you can give your reasons with examples. Okay, and in the body paragraph 2, again I'm telling you, if you don't have many ideas or many, like what to write, okay, I have this opinion, but I don't have much point to support it. So what will you do? You will just talk about another opinion here. You will say that some people think that people are not moving abroad for future prospects. It's like they are not moving for career, they are moving for some other things, or other, like other benefits they get in another country. Here you can talk about another opinion. Then in the conclusion, again, conclusion is all about like whatever you have thought, just give it, like make it very simple. Whatever you think your opinion was, you were trying to write, just conclude it in 3 to 4 sentences. Very easy. It's not necessary to overcomplicate it. The first thing, if you're a first time, if you're first time writing IELTS test, so when you're practicing for it, just write with a simple structure firstly. And it's important that you do like a lot of research before writing about any question, because it will help you in your exam. Some people say that, ma'am, if I'll just read some answers, so I'll get the answer. No, then what is the use of it? But it will get used, you will get more ideas, because when we only take our knowledge, it's very confined. Okay, and if you want to broaden it, we need to do research on the same topics. If I say that, if I on the same topic, if I feel that people are moving abroad and I feel that I have 2 3 points, it will be enough. Still do research, so you will feel that, oh my god, these are some amazing points that I'm getting. And yes, it will get stored in your mind, and if you get the similar question in your exam, it will be helpful for you. So I always tell to all of my students, do research before writing any question. Just don't start writing abruptly. Do the research, take time, and then start writing. Because again, it will be your language, your vocabulary. So it will be a little bit different. But you will have ideas at least with you, enough ideas. So whenever you write an essay, before that, just do your research work and then start writing. So yes, so what exactly coherence and cohesion means and the flow of ideas, what examiner look for is logical paragraph order. First of all, if you agree to some point, you need to discuss that point in the main body paragraph. And if you have some opposing ideas, then use it in the another paragraph. Again, there need to be smooth flow between ideas. So how can you achieve that? You can achieve that by using connectors. Use connectors so that we can, as an examiner, I can understand your writing. Okay, now you're changing it. Okay, now you're talking about something else. Okay, now you're introducing some new idea here. So with the help of connectors, that can be easily achieved. You just need to have a list of connectors with you, and I'm going to share it with you guys here so you can go through it, so that it helps you write more fluently. Then clear progression of thoughts. So yes, so if you're talking about another point of view, so it needs to be clear from where you are coming. Like if you feel that there is another point of view you need to introduce, you can talk about it. So there needs to be a clear progression of thoughts there. There needs to be a flow. It should not be an abrupt use of a new point of view. Okay, clear progression of thoughts can be achieved like again with the help of the connectors. And again, like on the other hand, I feel some people, they don't move abroad just for the sake of career. They just move there because they have better life over there. They can, have a, like, manage their family as well as their career better over there. They have better opportunities in terms of they get clean air, clean water. So these are some other things that you can talk about. Again, then the proper use of linking words. So some people, some students, they just take the linking words, they just learn it and just use them, all of them, in the writing, in the one paragraph itself. So no, don't do that. Like, use at least, you can use 3 4, not more than 4. It's like enough. And again, the most important point that you can do is one main idea per paragraph. Make it very simple. And see, when you're talking about, like, if I say that this is my main idea and I would like to ponder over it, so I should have some sub points. This is my main point, then I have sub points. So you need to have those sub points with you with the relevant example so that it can be easily understood by the examiner. Again, each sentence should connect naturally. So it should not feel that, don't use conjunctions also. Don't just use simple sentences that you have used one sentence and you are using a full stop and then you're starting another sentence. No. Use variety of sentences. Simple, simple sentence, use complex sentences. And again, you can use, you generally we use active voice, but you can use passive voice also in your writing, so it makes like more interesting. When you read a novel, when you read something, do you feel that their English is so simple? Even if the simplest novel, if you have read of any of, like, if I say I take up a writer like Chetan Bhagat, so you will see the language will be easy, but it will be so interesting to read. There will not be simple sentences. It will be like some masala in it. So you need to have that in your writing so that, yeah, it can connect easily with the examiner. I hope you understanding it, because, like, to be a good writer, you need to be a fantabulous reader. So if you are thinking to taking up this test, just go through some novels, read it. Even I mostly say to my students, rather going and research about some essay or just going through it on Google, you just go through, read some novels, 2 3 novels, and then from there your mind will start working in that way that you'll make the sentences in the same manner, in a more complex way, you can say, not in a more simpler way. So it will help you a lot in this. I hope you got the coherence and cohesion part, because it is very important, and the use of linking words, use of conjunctions to make your sentences, more complex. It is important. So don't just use full stop, use other punctuations also. Okay, moving on to the next slide. Now, grammar which you need to take care of here is that don't use only simple sentences that I told you earlier. Use compound sentences also, complex sentences also. And if you want to, like, want me to talk about complex and compound sentences in more detail, just let me know in the comment section and I'll make a video on it. No problem. And very important part, correct tense, that I discussed it in the first slide, that yes, you need to have a correct tense, especially for the writing section 1, because that's where happens that you are supposed to use variety of tenses while explaining the report, okay, while writing a report. Again, articles, a and the, we already know these articles, but sometimes we misuse them and we don't know how to use it properly. So it's important that you avoid such mistakes. And then punctuation, yes, punctuation is very crucial, because mostly as a student we have used full stop, we have used comma, but we don't exactly know about the use of semicolon, how to use it. So if you know it and if you use it in your writing, it shows that crisp, yes, that's this student, he or she knows what they're talking about, what they're writing about, that it puts an impression. So these are some small things which you can inculcate in your writing and which can make you stand out, and it can make you achieve that band 7 which you're craving for. So mostly students, they feel, which I have seen and gone through so many essays, and some students, they just memorize the essay, they just memorize the introduction. What they'll do is, and as an examiner, you can just, as a teacher, even if I'm not an examiner, I'm a teacher and I'm going through your essay, I can tell you that this one is the memorized one. The student has just crammed some answer and has just written it over there, so that puts an impression, that's a negative impression. So never memorize your essays. Some people, what some students do is, like, they take one thing, like, they have learned some introduction, they have learned some lines, they'll just put those lines everywhere, and it gets very easy to spot those essays. You understand it as a teacher, so it's better to use your creativity rather memorizing the essays, because it will help you. No, otherwise, like, if you feel that you can just cram it, so you're not going to get band 7. For band 7, you need to use your creative juices here. Then informal language, definitely you're not supposed to use any informal language in your report writing or in your essay writing. Just use your formal language, exactly the British English that we follow, use that. So in essay especially, sometimes people, students, they don't give example. What they do is, they have written the essay but they have not given any example, and as a teacher it gets, like, very difficult for you to, like, relate to their point of view, because if you have given me an example, I can relate to it, I can understand it in a better way. But if you're not giving me any example, it is, how can I know exactly what you're talking about? So examples are very important to make your viewpoint more clear. Then repeating the same words. Yes, please avoid repeating the same words. I am not saying to you that you have to use any, like, hi-fi vocabulary range of words. No, that's okay. But please avoid repetition. Use synonyms of some words, like, especially like in the writing section as well as in the speaking also. When we say that good, she was looking good. So instead of good, we can say she was looking fantabulous or some other word. So rather than repeating the same words, just take out some common words and use their synonyms, which you feel that you use again and again and again. It is again repeating. So just, and in the terms of when you're proofreading, na, so this repetition thing you can just chase out, pick it out and rephrase it. So you need to keep this proofreading time with you at the end of your writing section. So if you feel that you have repeated some word like 2-3 times, so that you can easily rephrase it afterwards. Then the last point is going off topic. So this going off topic happens when you don't plan your essay. When you take out your time, when you like, write down your main point, when you write down your sub points, then it is difficult for you to go off topic. But this happens when you just start writing into it, you just dwell into the essay at that time, just don't think about it, just don't plan it. So this is what happens, you go off topic. So to avoid going off topic, plan your essay. Second is, keep going through your question again and again. Like, if you're missing something, you will come across it. Okay, so it's important, it should not be like that, that you have read the question, okay, I know the question, that's the image you have in your mind, so you will say that I just don't need to go through it again. No, keep going through it again and again and again. So if you feel that if you're missing something, you will get it. And yes, very important part, sometimes what happens, students just get the question and they just go blank. They feel, oh my god, this is a very unusual topic and I know nothing about this topic. So it's important that you do, what you can do here is repeat, go through your question once, twice, thrice, 4 times. Then you'll start understanding it first of all. Then if you come across any familiar word from that question, you just pick that word and start writing on it. Plan around it. Rather than going blank, it's better you just pick one word from the topic, talk about it if you're not understanding anything else. So that these are the points that you need to take care while writing. Planning is the most important part of writing task, and most of the students, they just don't plan. They just dive into it and it creates a ruckus for them. So always plan your essay. Never memorize your introductions or some essays, because some essays are common and they get repeated, but don't memorize them. Just take an idea and just write with your own creativity. And I guess so informal language too, it is out of the box, it is not, you cannot use informal language and your marks will definitely get deducted if you're using any informal language. Use synonyms, avoid repeating the words, use examples, and please avoid going off topic. So the action plan that you can follow for IELTS Band 7 is, first and foremost, write daily. So it is coming from where, see, sometimes we feel, okay, I'll sit in a room, it will be perfect atmosphere, nobody will disturb me, then only I'll start writing. No, it shouldn't be like that. It should be like that if you're sitting in like multiple, like among people, so many people, but you just take out your pen, take out your notebook, start writing. Either you write it in your phone, in notes, like whatever. You just write your essay and just start writing. It's very important that you write daily, because if you want to achieve 7 bands, writing is very important. Only reading thing, researching through many essays will not work for you. You need to write one essay every day. Then analyze model essays. Yes, as I told you, research, research, and research. This is the crucial part, because sometimes we feel that we do have enough ideas with us and I know about the topic. But no, it's important that you at least read 3-4 essays beforehand and then start writing. So that you have some other ideas, like, okay, other people can write like this also. Okay, they have inculcated this point also. Okay, I can use this thing. So this is how you expand your knowledge. Then improve your vocabulary. Yes, you can improve your vocabulary again by reading. Reading is very important. Read novels, read newspaper. You can use some applications are there. I'll share it with you. So you can play the game. You can learn new words from there. But again, these things are important, but these things come second. Your writing, your ideas, how well you are writing, it's very important, because you have read the books in which they have not used very, difficult vocabulary. They have used very simple words, but the way they have written it was so beautiful that you were so engaged in their writing. Then get feedback. Yes, for the writing section, if you'll just keep writing, keep writing, keep writing, and nobody will give feedback you on your writing section, so it will be of no help. You will keep repeating the same mistakes. So it's important that you take up a trainer, take someone's advice and get the feedback on your writing section. And yes, rewrite your mistakes. So whatever you feel that you have lacked in your first task, rewrite it, so that you can see how well you have improved in the second time. Again, the golden rule is writing improves only by writing. So like if I have to make a YouTube video and it will get improved, I cannot wait for the perfect moment. I just have to start recording, and same goes with the writing. It's not like that you will get a perfect scenario where you will be alone and then only you'll start writing. No, don't do that. Don't wait for that day. Just start writing now.